Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, story timers. It's me, Donna Vee, and I'm so excited to be here today. Today is Friday, April 30th. It's Friday. It's almost the weekend. It's a beautiful day and sunny and windy right now on the east coast of New Jersey, coming to you live from Nutley, New Jersey, dressed as a turtle. Why, you must ask? Well, because I know that the letter T is for turtle, but you know what the letter S is for? Which is today's letter, actually. Shell. And this is got a shell on it. Look at this. Look at that. Check it out. I know, it's pretty exciting, right? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my Lord. That was bright. Whoa. It's Arbor Day. Holy guacamole. Who knew? Well, you knew. I didn't even know it's Arbor Day. Oh my goodness gracious. Shari Freed. S is for Shari. And S is swell. That's amazing. Shari Freed, what is Arbor Day? I don't even really. Oh, I just almost lost our page. Let me think. I'm going to Google it to be exact. I didn't even realize it was Arbor Day. I would have done some research. Uh-oh. You know what? I don't know what I do with my phone. Well, you know what? That's okay. If you want to let me know, you can let me know. Otherwise, I'm just excited to be here today. It is absolutely beautiful outside. The sun is shining. There's some clouds, but you know what? It's more sun than clouds, so I'll take it. In fact, today's a day that I wish I could be on the golf course. Although there's a little bit of breeze, a little bit of wind, which would definitely affect my shot. S shot. But yes, super silly, sassy, smart. Oh my goodness gracious, I'm grabbing my water because guess what? I forgot to grab my water. And guess what? You should totally drink more water. I think really now would be a perfect time to take a sip because it's a little sweaty in these suits. So if you're just tuning in right now and you're wondering what on earth am I watching, my name is Donna Vee, and I have made it my mission to bring story time to the morning from 10 to 11, Sunday through Friday since March 21st. Actually, back then I was doing it 7 days a week. Good morning, Jim Tomlinson. How are you? It's beautiful here on the East Coast. I hope on the West Coast it is just as nice. Good morning, Lisa Marie. Oh, my goodness gracious. I'm so happy to see you. It's story time, folks. And today's letter is S. I know you're probably thinking it's got to be T because of turtle. And I said, nope. S is for the shell that's on my back. S is for super duper. Super duper. Look at this. Story time is super and smashing. Happy Friday, Lisa. I'm so excited it's Friday. It's April 30th. I mean, can you even imagine that when we come back on Sunday, it's going to be a totally different month? I mean, holy guacamole. It is, speaking of guacamole, Cinco de Mayo is in a few days, and you eat a lot of guacamole. So it's kind of all just together, just threads together. It's pretty amazing. Who's ready to talk about some healthy habits? Like waking up with a smile as long as you can. Gratitude's important. Yes, indeed, it is. Taking a shower is super awesome, and we're super grateful. I'm super grateful to be able to do that because it's super amazing. And then, of course, brushing our teeth, which is like, I'm grateful. If you're anywhere near me, you're grateful I brush my teeth. If you brush your teeth, I'm grateful. It's just a big gratitude train. Yes, let's see. Ooh. Okay, I have 2 alliterations for you, but I will post the easy one. I could use a little something easy in life right now. Good morning, Donna. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. If you like the sound of it, something quite atrocious. I think I'm gonna lie. I don't remember the exact words to that. All I know is that I love Mary Poppins. She's one of my favorites ever. And I see that Lisa has put up the alliterative sentence. But you know, first I have to exercise a little bit. I have to get ready. I have to stretch. I have to stretch. Remember, if you cannot stretch your body because of physical conditions, you can just stretch your imagination. It's just that easy. So when I say A, you picture A. Maybe you picture an apple. B, a ball. C, a cup. D, a dog. Whatever it is, or different colors. it's really kind of like exciting to just get your brain going this morning, right? Totally. Okay, let's try this. 26 letters in the alphabet. 13 letters in. Happens to be the middle. Well, actually, the letter M is the middle, and the space between M and N, that's the middle. Oh, good morning, Ryan. How are you? Nice to see you. I'm so excited you're here. If you notice, I've already made my announcement about my turtle suit. It is not the letter T today, it's the letter S, but S is for shell. So I just want to say thank you because my sponsor gifted me this lovely turtle suit all the way from Ireland, and it arrived slowly, but it got here. Okay, so 26 letters in the alphabet. Put your arms out, please, and won't you join me in some non-spaghetti arm jumping jacks while we recite the alphabet, because through repetition, that's how we learn. So are you ready? Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, middle, N, O, P, Q, R, S, switch, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. A fuzz. Holy cow. Okay, S, sweaty. It's warm in this shell. Okay, we're going to be switching out our letter R, finding out who's on the back of the letter S so that we could shout them out this morning. Oh my goodness. As you could tell by the most amazing sunlight that's beaming into this room, every once in a while, it kind of like fades and then gets really bright, fades. It's because it's definitely partly cloudy, but it is so windy today. So the clouds are going by so fast. Today, they're more like speedboats. Sometimes clouds go by like sailboats, slowly. Actually, some sailboats, they can be pretty fast too, I guess. You know what? I don't really know a lot about boats. Although I do know that I like being in a boat in the middle of a lake, just laying there peacefully like this. Oh, that's my favorite. I would just like peace and quiet to listen to the birds and the bugs. Sometimes it's just so sweet. Okay, the letter S looks like this. Uppercase, lowercase, and yes, they look so much alike. They look like little sister, big sister, or little brother, big brother. They just look like if you put that little letter S in the ground like a seedling and planted it, it would grow up to be the big one. I know. It's one of my favorite ways of visualizing how a lowercase letter becomes an uppercase letter. Right? Another word that starts with S, seal. One of my favorite songs, Kiss from a Rose, and that's a seal song, but that's not the same kind of seal. It's a different seal altogether. Let's put S up here like this. Actually, let's put the seal up. I like that idea. And let's shout good morning out to those on the back of my letter S. Who am I saying good morning to? Well, you know that the large list is right here. I keep it by me just in case someone decides to add a name. We haven't had anybody adding names lately, but that's okay because guess what? We get to say good morning to the ones on the back of this list. And I want to say that I want you to shout up and down. No, jump up and down and shout while you do it. Or you could sweetly just sway. That would be nice too. You could swing on a swing. You could swirl around. What else could you do? Yeah, I see the trees swaying in the breeze. It's all good. Whatever you want to do, just be happy that today is your day, letter S. And if your name is Sophie from France, good morning. Or Seamus, Scarlett, Sabino, Sawyer, Jane. There she is, Sophia and Shay. Good morning. Today is your day. I'm so excited. I am. Oh, Yogi fell down. Hey, Yokes. What's up, my buddy? My little boy. I'm going to pop you right there. Perfect. The gang's all here. Now, I guess it might be a good idea to practice something else really fast. Well, we don't have to go really fast. But before my alliterative sentence, One more chance going through the alphabet is not going to hurt. But this time, we're going to go through the Asl alphabet. Are you ready? Hands up. We're practicing S, sign language. So exciting. And it's so good to learn. Here we go. Ready? Oh, look, my nails match my suit. A, B, C, D, looks like this. E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I'm so excited and so proud of you. If you practice that at home and no one's watching, that means that you are building character. I think it's so important. And I think it's really good because one day you might meet somebody that doesn't communicate verbally, and that would be a great way to communicate. Okay, yep, I get it. I waited long enough. I don't think Frank Simon's coming. And I know that Lisa put her heart and soul into this S alliterative sentence. So therefore, I'm going to practice. I'm going to try. I'm going to bring it up. Ooh, and then I love that she wrote this after. Now, if you want to challenge, I have a crazy tongue twister alliteration with the letter S. Here's what I'm going to say, Lisa. Let me get through the first one, right? And then I'll take my vitamins and I'll try your second one. Okay? Here's the first one. I'm not looking. Shelley Sherman shivered in her sheer shawl in the shady shelter. Shelley Sherman shivered in her sheer shawl in the shady shelter. Shelley Sherman shivered in her sheer shawl in the shady shelter. That was 3 times, and I feel pretty safe. Kind of safe and stupendous, especially if you could see the amount of words in the next one. I'm sticking with it. That is my final answer. Waiting for the official word to come in from anyone and everyone. I think I did okay with that. Lisa, thank you for going easy on me first. Okay, kids, now it's time for vitamins. Because if you could see, I can't even see it, but yeah, seamless, very nice. Seamless, Donna wins. I know it's, seamless, Donna wins. I got it. Thank you. Love it. Don't go anywhere, Ryan, because the next one might have you laughing off your chair. All right, here we go. It is vitamin time here at Story Time. What does that mean? It means that it's just another idea that I had to come up with promoting healthy habits. So taking your vitamins every day is so important. I like to mix them up. And, in this particular bottle, they're red, orange, and yellow. So there's plenty of combinations. Ooh, stupendous. And the second one is a challenge. Yeah, I know. I could see just by the size of it, the sheer size of it. It's like so many sentences. Okay, so we have red and yellow for today. Red, yellow, and orange are our choices. And I'm going to pick 2. And I'm not going to show you what they are yet, but you can totally guess. But this is where we take healthy habits and good manners. See that? Ryan said yellow and orange today. Please. He's the best. He really is. So I might say to someone that is in charge of my vitamins, like a mom, a dad, a nan, a pop, aunt, uncle, someone, I would say, can I please have my vitamins because I'm a child and there's a child-proof lock. And they would say, sure, I could totally help you with that. And you might get 2 yellow. See that? We're going to find out. So without looking, they would give me my vitamins if they were playing a game with me. And I would say, please, may I have my vitamins? They'd say, sure, here you go. And I'd say, thanks for my vitamins. And they'd say, you're welcome. And it would be like this big festival of politeness, which I absolutely love. And I think that people should really practice that more. It's so awesome to be polite and have good manners. The next thing is the big reveal. And then, you know how we practice being polite? We don't chew with our mouth open or talk with our mouth full. I know, it could be a challenge sometimes, especially after brushing your teeth, because these are sour. All right, are you ready? The big reveal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, guys, it's a red and an orange today. Nobody guessed it. Red and orange. Sorry. But you know what? You're more than welcome to put a number in between 7 and 157 and see what comes up for today's nugget of truth. Because you know that we read from The Beginner's Guide to the Universe, Uncommon Ideas for Living an Unusually Happy Life by author Mike Dooley. One of my favorite books in the whole wide world. I know, I love it. So let's do this together. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that was good. Really sour. Amazing. Both of you picked pages with the number 5 in it. 150 for Ryan and 58 for Lisa. Let's see what we have. I literally opened it to page 58, but 58 happens to be a very large page, but I do love this. I do love the fact that I opened to it, and I thought maybe, let's see. It says this is the trickiest chapter because what's to be shared can seem naive, negative, or just plain offensive. But consider if you're at the beginning. Okay, I have to read like a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't really know. So I'm going to say, Lisa, the magic lies with us in the fact that I opened to page 58, just like whip the book open to it. The magic in the words will be on page 150. I just happen to know it. Let's see what it says. Perfect. Found it. It's not what's said that determines whether you're being honest, but why you said it. For example, if someone told you it's a beautiful day to distract your attention from the dent they just put in your car door, they'd be lying. That's magical right there. Never make a decision until you have to. People who give are given to. People who care are cared for. And people who love age slower, run faster, jump higher, are as happy with friends as they are alone, climb more trees, skip when they could walk, kiss when they could talk, take the odd Friday off, experience faster manifestations, and are really popular with animals. Being worthy isn't something you earn, it's something you recognize. I love that page. Well, you know what? I think together that made for a really good message, don't you think? I do. I hope you guys do too. Sometimes it's so odd when I have to like say things and I know that I can't hear anybody. It's like, right? Thank goodness I have social distancing buddies. Exactly. Ta-da. Okay, I'm not afraid. I'm going for this big alliterative sentence, tongue twisty thing that Lisa put up. All right, here we go. Let me find it. I'm nervous. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to look at it first. Oh boy. Okay. Mr. C owned a saw, and Mr. Soar owned a seesaw. Now, C's saw, sawed Soar's seesaw. Before saw, I messed it up. Before Soar saw C, which made Soar soar. Had Soar seen C's saw before C sawed Soar's seesaw, C's saw would not have sawed Soar's seesaw. So, C's saw sawed Soar's seesaw. But It was sad to see soar, so sore. Just because sees, saw, sawed, sore, seesaw. That is crazy. Mr. C owned a saw, and Mr. Sore owned a seesaw. Now sees, saw, sawed, soars, seesaw. Before soar, saw, see, which made soar, soar. Had soar seen, sees, saw, before see, sawed, soars, seesaw, seesaw would not have sawed, soars, seesaw. So seesaw, sawed, soars, seesaw. But it was sad to see soar, so sore, just because sees, saw, sawed, soar, seesaw. Oh, I only have to do that one once. Okay. I messed it up. Lisa definitely won. That was amazing, though. Okay, that was pretty awesome. Did you make that up? Lisa, I mean, I know you're a teacher. Just because you're retired doesn't mean like you're still not a teacher, because you teach me every day. That was amazing. That was tough. When you put words like that are so close in the spelling and the sound together, your brain is just like, I don't know if we could do this today. But I will tell you. She said, no, I stole that one. Well, you know what? That was pretty awesome. So thank you. I love that you're always a willing participant. I could hear you giggle. I could see you smile. And I love that you're here. So I'm very appreciative. I really am. Okay, so next, you know what we have to do? We have to get our social distancing buddy. We're getting our original. Our original is none other than Bartholomew. And today, we're going to send lots of love and light out to small businesses. Yeah, I think small businesses could use a little bit of help right now because apparently small businesses are suffering. So many restaurants and eateries and different places. And I just want to say, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for us, really, because I tell you what, I could use a hug. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. Next, we'll send it to students. Absolutely. Students that are trying to get through school right now. I have a daughter who's graduating May 23rd, and I will tell you, it's been wild to know that college can exist in the dining room. Right? Yeah. She's going to go for her master's from the dining room, unless they open the school back up, and then that'd be amazing. Ooh, surgeons. I love that. So we have students, surgeons, steamboat captains. Who else? Let's see. Oh, silliness. We want to send love and light and silliness out. I like that idea. We need some silliness. Who should we get out to help us with this? Oh, good idea. Here's Dee Dee, the schoolfish teacher. Silly. Well, sugar plum fairies, definitely. And silly goat. That's a great idea. I love silly goat. I just like goats. And sheep. Sheep. Lammy. Where's Lammy? Lammy, the original. Okay, so now that we've got all of our gang with us, we've got a representation of comedians and silliness. We've got a school representation right here. We've got hugs galore because we could use a little bit of sweetness. And then we've got, of course, Bartholomew. And then we have a turtle. Well, representing the shell. That's what's on the back of the turtle, right? Yeah, she does have pretty hooves. I love it. Okay, so together we can elevate the vibration of the global population one day at a time, one good wish at a time. And we are very, very, very much sending love and light out to our friends in India as well. So won't you just please join me sending some love and light from our head, our heart, and our whole being. Yeah, from me to you and you to me. On the count of 3, let's do this. 1, 2, 3. That was pretty awesome. Even the wind could not take all of our good wishes and blow them away. They're going to make it around the world multiple times. I can tell you that right now. It's like the strongest beams of light ever. Because when we're together, we're stronger than ever. Okay, here we go. Come on back. You guys make a cute little group of cheerleaders. I love it. So sweet. Look at the way she just looks. She's beautiful. Lammy. Okay, let's breathe in some positive intentions with our I am statements so that we can get to the books. I'm so excited. I have some amazing books. We are finishing, finally, George and Martha. And stick around because we have 2 books. One I've never read before called Sophie's Masterpiece. And then an encore performance of A Bad Case of Stripes. You know, it just happens to be that it's one of my clients' and friends' favorite books. And I thought to myself, just in case maybe she watches, she might want to. She told me it's her favorite book, really, is what it is. And I thought to myself, it might be nice because if she's watching or watches, maybe she hasn't read the book in a long time because her kids are grown-ups like mine. And, you know, like I said the other day, I have a fundraiser that's coming up, and it will be to benefit Brick City Rescue. And yesterday, one of my very sweet clients came in and said, Donna, please give me the name of a charity that you'd like me to donate to for Yogi. And I said, hold up. We're going to be doing a fundraiser in honor of Brick City Rescue, which is a dog rescue, because there's so many dogs out there that do not have the same opportunity that Yogi has. Or for that matter, look at all these beautiful pups that we have here. We've got Dash. We have Hershey. We have Cinnamon and Mush. Look at these girls. Look at how cute they are. Madeline and Annabelle. And the truth is that there's so many dogs that just didn't get the same love and attention, and they need to be rescued. And we need to help out this rescue because I know they've been doing so much work, and without the ability to fundraise like they normally have been, you know, to do, I know their medical bills are sky high. So when I found that out, I thought this is falling perfectly in alignment with the plan I have to put, you know, help out there by way of a readathon. Yeah. So I asked my client, well, what was your favorite book? I said, what's your favorite book? You can make a request. And she told me what her favorite book was. I didn't have it. So I got the soft cover on Amazon. Boom. It's coming in the mail. And when that time comes, I'll let her know what time I'm going to read the book. And she can listen to it. So I'm really excited. It's all coming together because I am determined to help people out even while we're in lockdown and can't do fancy schmancy fundraisers like I used to do. So we'll do simple ones just to help some people out. Okay. Get your I ams up. I feel like Lady Gaga right there. Get your paws up. But get your I ams up. Are you ready? Okay. I am hopeful. I am strong. I am grateful. I am ready to read. Are you ready to read? I'm so pumped. All right. Last we left George and Martha was chapter 3. We're moving on to story number 4. This mirror. No, the mirror. How I love to look at myself in the mirror, said Martha. Every chance she got, Martha looked at herself in the mirror. Ooh, she's got a tulip. Lovely. Sometimes Martha even woke up during the night to look at herself. This is fun, she giggled. Oh, Martha. But George was getting tired of watching Martha look at herself in the mirror. One day, George pasted a silly picture he had drawn of Martha onto the mirror. Oh, what a scare it gave Martha. Oh my goodness. That's not nice. Oh dear, she cried. What has happened to me? That's what happens when you look yourself too much in the mirror, said George. Well, then I won't ever do it again, said Martha. And she didn't. The last story, the tooth. One day when George was skating to Martha's house, he tripped and fell, and he broke off his right front tooth. Ouch! He's like in the same position as the bear was diving for its cub the other day. When he got to Martha's, George cried his eyes out. "Oh dear me," he cried. "I look so funny without my favorite tooth." "There, there," said Martha. The next day, George went to the dentist, and the dentist replaced George's missing tooth with a lovely gold one. The dentist's name is Buck Matooth. When Martha saw George's lovely new golden tooth, she was very happy. "George," she exclaimed, "you look so handsome and distinguished with your new tooth." And George was happy too. "That's what friends are for," he said. "They always look on the bright side, and they always know how to cheer you up." "But they also tell you the truth," said Martha, with a smile. I wonder if that tooth cost him like 50 cents. I don't even know if 50 cents has a gold tooth. I really don't even know. That's George and Martha. 3 days. It took us 3 days. We started on the letter Q. We repeated it on the letter R. And S is for summing it up. Well, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Okay. Next. A Bad Case of Stripes or Sophie's masterpiece. Let's see. Let's read A Bad Case of Stripes first by David Shannon. Camilla Cream loved lima beans. She never ate them. All of her friends hated lima beans, and she wanted to fit in. Camilla was always worried about what other people thought of her. Look. Today, she was fretting even more than usual. It was the first day of school, and she couldn't decide what to wear. There were so many people to impress. She tried on 49 outfits, but none seemed quite right. She put on a pretty red dress and looked in the mirror, and then she screamed. Ah! Her mother ran into the room, and she screamed too. "Oh my heavens! You're completely covered with stripes." Oh my goodness. This was certainly true. Camilla was striped from head to toe. She looked like a rainbow. Mrs. Cream felt Camilla's forehead. "Do you feel all right?" she asked. "I feel fine," Camilla answered. "But just look at me." "You get back in bed this instant," her mother ordered. "You're not going to school today." Camilla was relieved. She didn't want to miss the first day of school, but she was afraid of what the other kids would say, and she had no idea what to wear with those crazy stripes. Can you imagine? That afternoon, Dr. Bumble came to examine Camilla. "Most extraordinary," he exclaimed. "I've never seen anything like it. Are you having any coughing, sneezing, runny nose, aches, pains, chills, hot flashes, dizziness, drowsiness, shortness of breath, or uncontrollable twitching?" "No," Camilla told him. "I feel fine." "Well then," Dr. Bumble said, turning to Mrs. Cream, "I don't see any reason why she shouldn't go to school tomorrow. Here's some ointment that should help clear up those stripes in a few days. If it doesn't, you know where to reach me." And off he went. The next day was a disaster. Everyone at school laughed at Camilla. They called her Camilla Crayon and Night of the Living Lollipop. She tried her very best to act as if everything were normal, but when the class said the Pledge of Allegiance, her stripes turned into red, white, and blue stars and stripes. She broke out into stars. Look at her. The other kids thought this was great, and one yelled out, "Let's see purple polka dots." Sure enough, Camilla turned all purple polka dotty. Someone else shouted, "Checkerboard!" and a pattern of squares covered her skin. Soon everyone was calling out different shapes and colors, and poor Camilla was changing faster than you can change channels on a TV. Whoa. That's pretty intense. That night, Mr. Harms, the school principal, called. "I'm sorry, Mrs. Cream," he said. "I'm going to have to ask you to keep Camilla home from school. She's just too much of a distraction. I've been getting calls from the other parents. They're afraid those stripes might be contagious." Can you imagine? Camilla was so embarrassed. She couldn't believe that 2 days ago everyone liked her. Now nobody wanted her to be in the same room with her. Aw. Her father tried to make her feel better. "Is there anything I can get you, sweetheart?" he asked. "No, thank you," sighed Camilla. What she really wanted was a nice plate of lima beans, but she had been laughed at enough for one day. Man. Well, yes, I see, Dr. Bumble mumbled when Mr. Cream phoned the next day. "I think I'd better bring in the specialist. We'll be right over." Look at that. So many people. About an hour later, Dr. Bumble arrived with 4 people in long white coats. He introduced them to the Queens. "This is Dr. Grop, Dr. Sponge, Dr. Cricket, and Dr. Young." Then the specialist went to work on Camilla. They squeezed and jabbed, tapped, and tested. It was very uncomfortable. "Well, it's not the mumps," concluded Dr. Grop. "Or the measles," said Dr. Sponge. "Definitely not chickenpox," put in Dr. Cricket. "Or sunburn," said Dr. Young. "Try these," said the specialist. "Try this," said the other specialist. They each handed her a bottle filled with different colored pills. "Take one of each before bed," said Dr. Grop. Then they filed out the front door, followed by Dr. Bumble. I mean, really, this poor girl. That night, Camilla took her medicine. It was awful. When she woke up the next morning, she did feel different. But when she got dressed, her clothes didn't fit right. She looked in the mirror, and there, staring back at her, was a giant, multicolored pill with her face on it. Oh my goodness. Can you even imagine? I mean, that's crazy. Dr. Bumble rushed over as soon as Mrs. Cream called. But this time, instead of the specialist, he brought the experts. Dr. Gord and Dr. Mellon were the finest scientific minds in the land. Oh my goodness. Once again, Camilla was poked and prodded, looked at and listened to. The experts wrote down lots of numbers. Then they huddled together and whispered. Dr. Gord finally spoke. "It might be a virus," he announced with authority. Suddenly, fuzzy little virus balls appeared all over Camilla. "Or possibly some form of bacteria," said Mr. Mellon. Out popped squiggly little bacteria tails. "Or it could be a fungus," added Dr. Gord, and instantly Camilla was covered with different colored fungus splotches. The experts looked at Camilla, then at each other. "We need to go over these numbers again. Back at the lab." "Whoa," Dr. Gord explained. "We'll call you when we know something." But the experts didn't have a clue. much less a cure. Oh my goodness. By now, the TV news had found out about Camilla. Reporters from every channel were outside her house, telling the story of the bizarre case of the incredible changing kid. Soon a huge crowd was camped out on the front lawn. Can you imagine the chaos? Oh, look at her. Oh, poor baby. The Creams were swamped with all kinds of remedies from psychologists, allergists, herbalists, nutritionists, psychics, an old medicine man, a guru, and even a veterinarian. Each so-called cure only added to poor Camilla's strange appearance until it was hard to even recognize her. She sprouted roots and berries and crystals and feathers and a long furry tail, but nothing worked. One day, a woman who called herself an environmental therapist claimed she could cure Camilla. Close your eyes, she said. Breathe deeply. Become one with your room. Oh my goodness. Become one with your room. I wish I hadn't said that, Camilla groaned. Slowly, she started to melt into the walls of her room. Her bed became her mouth, her nose was a dresser, and her two paintings were her eyes. The therapist screamed and ran from the house. What are we going to do? Said Mrs. Cream. It just keeps getting worse and worse, and she began to sob. That is hilarious, Ryan. It does look like our friend Tracy Locke. That's hilarious. At that moment, Mr. Cream heard a quiet little knock at the front door. He opened it, and there stood an old woman who was just as plump and sweet as a strawberry. Excuse me, she said brightly, but I think I can help. Oh. She went into Camilla's room and looked around. My goodness, she said with a shake of her head. What we have here is a bad case of stripes. One of the worst I've ever seen. And she pulled a container of small green beans from her bag. Here, she said, these might do the trick. Are those magic beans? Asked Mrs. Cream. Oh my, no, replied the kind old woman. There's no such thing. These are just plain old lima beans. I'll bet you'd like some, won't you? Wouldn't you? She asked Camilla. And Camilla wanted a big, heaping plateful of lima beans more than just about anything. But she was still afraid to admit it. Yuck, she said. No one likes lima beans, especially me. Oh dear, the old woman said sadly. I guess I was wrong about you. She put the beans back in her bag and started toward the door. Guess what? Camilla watched the old woman walk away, and those beans would taste so good. And being laughed at for eating them was nothing compared to what she'd been going through. So finally, she couldn't stand it anymore. Wait, she cried. The truth is, I really love lima beans. I thought so, the old woman said with a smile, and she took a handful of beans and popped them into Camilla's mouth. Mmm, said Camilla. Mmm. Suddenly, the branches, feathers, and squiggly tails began to disappear. Then the whole room swirled around. When it stopped, there stood Camilla, and everything was back to normal. I'm cured, she shouted. Yes, said the old woman. I knew the real you was in there somewhere. She patted Camilla on the head, and then she went outside and vanished into the crowd. Afterward, Camilla wasn't quite the same. Some of the kids at school said she was weird, but she didn't care a bit. She ate all the lima beans she wanted, and she never ever had even had a touch of the stripes again. I love that. A Bad Case of Stripes. That's a great book. I hope you really enjoyed it. I totally did. It's one of my favorites. It's so good that it makes me wish, I wonder what it would be like to be covered in stripes or stars just for like a minute. Be kind of cool, right? I don't know, though. I don't know if I could eat lima beans, but I guess if I had to, I would. Now, I'm really excited. I have no idea what this book is about. It's, let's see. Sophie's an artist. I know that. It's by Eileen Spinelli. Illustrations by Jane Dyer, the author and illustrator of When Mama Comes Home Tonight. I'm excited. It's a spider's tale. Spider. Here we go. Look at that. I like her striped shirt. She looks very French. Sophie was no ordinary house spider. Sophie was an artist. She spun webs more wondrous than anyone had ever seen. Her playmates called her incredible. Her mama was proud. Look at that. Someday, they said, she's going to spin a masterpiece. When Sophie arrived at the age when a young spider must strike out on her own, she moved to Beekman's boarding house. Her little suitcase. This is Beekman's boarding house. Lovely. The first thing she did was look around. She saw dull green walls, faded rugs, and old window shades. The place cried out for her talents. Sophie set to work. Her first project was to weave a web of curtains for Beekman's front parlor. Day after day, she whizzed along, blending a golden thread of sun into her silk. So there she is arriving. And look at that. Amazing. Then one day, the landlady noticed her and screamed, "I'll have no spiders in my parlor." She swatted at Sophie with a dust rag. Sophie knew when she wasn't wanted. She scampered across the wall and up the stairs into the tugboat captain's closet. Oh no. Oh no, that's scary. Funny thing is how many times we've seen cobwebs and never thought of it as artwork. Well, not cobwebs, spider webs. When she finally settled down, she looked around and saw nothing but gray. Gray shirts, gray pants, gray sweaters. The captain needs a new suit. Sophie decided something bright, blue like sky. She began to spin patiently. A sleeve, a collar. One day, the tugboat captain caught Sophie at work. He screeched, "A spider!" Then he climbed onto the windowsill. He climbed onto the windowsill and out to the roof. Sophie did not want anyone falling off the roof on her account. She scuttled out of the closet, down the hall, and into the cook's bedroom slipper. Look, she was trying to make him a suit. But can you believe a ship's captain would be afraid of a spider so much that he climbs out a window? I mean, come on. Cook's bedroom slippers were patched and dirty. I'll spin Cook a new pair, Sophie thought, after I rest a bit. No sooner had Sophie snuggled into the toe than she was being flung to the floor. Was it an earthquake? No. It was Cook who had shaken Sophie out. Yuck, scowled Cook. Look at that ugly, disgusting spider. Sophie's feelings were hurt. With great dignity, she journeyed across the rug and under Cook's door. She made the long, long climb up the steep stairs to the third floor where a young woman lived. Warily, Sophie slipped into the young woman's knitting basket and fell asleep. See that? By this time, many spider years had passed. Sophie was older. She only had energy to spin a few small things for herself. A tiny rose-patterned case for her pillow, 8 colorful socks to keep her legs warm. But mostly, she slept. There she is. See her? She's tiny. Then one day, the young woman discovered Sophie. Oh no, thought Sophie, close to tears. She knew she did not have the strength for any more journeys. But the young woman did not swat at Sophie with a dust rag. She did not climb on the roof. She did not say that Sophie was ugly. She simply smiled. Look. And without disturbing Sophie in the least, the young woman picked up her needle and yarn. Sophie watched as the young woman knitted day after day. Booties, cried Sophie. The young woman was going to have a baby. After the booties were finished, the young woman knitted a baby sweater. Then the yarn was gone. The young woman did not have enough money to buy yarn for a baby blanket. Never mind, the landlady told her. There's an old brown quilt in the hall closet. Your baby can use that. Sophie had seen that quilt. It was scratchy and drab, not fit for a baby. Sophie knew the answer. She would have to spin a blanket herself. In her younger days, this would have not been a problem, but Sophie had grown frail and weak. The baby was due any day. Could Sophie complete the blanket in time? Look. Aw, she's using a hairpin. She climbed out of the yarn basket. She traveled to the wide windowsill. Strands of moonlight fell into the room. Excellent, she thought. I'll weave those strands into the baby's blanket. Some starlight, too. Sophie began. As she spun, new ideas came to her. She worked them into the blanket. Snippets of fragrant pine, wisps of night, old lullabies, and playful snowflakes. Ah, wow. Sophie spun without blinking or eating or sleeping. She was never more exhausted or determined, and on she spun. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? She was down to the farthest corner of the blanket when she heard the cry of the young woman's newborn baby. And there on that farthest corner is where Sophie wove into the blanket her very own heart. Ah. Ah. That night, as the young woman was about to cover her infant with the landlady's quilt, something on the windowsill caught her eye. It was a blanket, so soft, so beautiful, as to be fit for a prince. The young woman knew this was no ordinary blanket. She placed it with love and wonderment around her sleeping baby, and went to sleep herself with her hand upon the little spider's last spinning Sophie's masterpiece. Look, there's the blanket. And there they are. The end. Oh. Well, that was beautiful, to think differently about spiders that might make you scared, to think that they're artists just trying to knit us some beautiful wares. Just reading poetry here. You know what time it is, right? Can you believe it? It's 11 a.m. on the dot. And today is Friday, April 30th. So I will see you again on Sunday, May 2nd. Enjoy your day today, and let's go out with a hug. Put your right hand on your left shoulder and your left hand on your right. Give yourself a hug for me. Squeeze yourself so tight, and know that I love you and everything's going to be all right. I am peace. I am hope. I am grateful. I am totally content. Thank you so much for being here today and every day. I'll see you Sunday. And I hope you have a beautiful day today. Get out in the sunshine if it's sunny where you are. And I'll see you then. Oh, you're welcome, Ryan. Bye, everybody.